I have launched a rocket in Cycle 3! This is gonna be the world's fastest speedrun record in oxygen not included, and I'm so excited to share the process with you. This video is just 11 minutes long. You might be thinking this is some highlight clips, but it is not! It's the entire unedited run process recorded. It's even less than 10 minutes if we only count the actual gameplay. The setting of this run is completely default, and no mods are used at all. So the secret to speedrunning rocket launch is mostly about researching. We will be using the most primitive rocket engine in Spaced Out DLC, which is the carbon dioxide engine. However, even this starter rocket requires advanced research, and that is locked behind the first research skill. I am gonna start with a maxed out research dupe, but this is not enough to finish all the research in time. I have to get another researcher later. For the other two dupes, it will be a bionic builder and a bionic digger. This hybrid way of starting dupes is the best combination I can come up with. Bionics sure have the advantage of working in low oxygen areas, but a regular duplicant can easily start with 9 attribute to something, while bionics can only start with 5 to something. So I would say starting with 3 bionics is unlikely to be the optimal solution. Anyway, let's get started. The priority in the first few seconds would be digging out for metal ore and dirt for research, uncheck the ration box delivery, uncheck the auto disinfect so they won't waste time doing these useless things. Set the priority accordingly, builder gets to build and researcher gets to research. Nobody will get any downtime at all. Does that mean we are sacrificing the dupes? No! Since both regular dupes and bionics start with more than 3 cycles of food and battery, if we can launch the rocket within this 3 cycles, then they can safely delay their meal until the epic rocket launch is completed. We only have 3 dupes to work, so every dupe labor counts. Sacrificing them is not gonna speed things up anyway. Now that we got the metals, we can build the only things we need in the first cycle: battery, manual generator, research station, and an outhouse. I'm not planning to make them pee on the ground. You might thought it's just an emotional damage if they do that, but stepping on pee could give them soggy feet and chilly surroundings, significantly slowing their athletics, and ends up wasting more time than building an outhouse. Here I am trying to find a good path to dig to the top. The black tiles shown in the overlay is granite, which my dupes cannot dig. It's a one-time mission going up there, so I am not planning to build a ladder either. I have to find the shortest path the digger can dig and be able to access. Well, it's hard to find it in one go when not pausing. The reason I'm going this way is to go into the teleporter. One good thing about the teleporter planet is that it always spawns with a guaranteed cryopod. Defrosting the cryopod gives us a new dupe. 4 dupes are better than 3 for sure. But the best thing about the frozen dupe is that it always starts with 3 free skill points. This is extremely critical because this means it can access the supercomputer immediately, and other dupes will never get the first skill point in time. You might know dupes can be printed with pre-learned skills, but researching skills do not exist in the pre-learned skill list at all. Bionics can start with helpful boosters, but no bionic can start with a research booster ever. Therefore, this frozen friend is pretty much the only one that can play with the supercomputer the entire run. Almost forgot the outhouse. They can hold on to full bladder for 120 seconds, so I should still be in time. The fuel for carbon dioxide rocket is apparently carbon dioxide. The rocket needs about 17 kilograms of it to launch, and it will take too long to collect from the exhaust of the duplicant. Fortunately, the map often generates natural packets of carbon dioxide. I just have to collect them with a gas pump later. The water pool generation here is nice, quite convenient to place another set of generator, battery, and a supercomputer next to the pool. The frozen dupe has just came into play, so the outhouse here can wait longer. The bedtime for the regular dupes has just started. Why did I cancel the downtime but still keep the bedtime? Because the dupes can relieve properly even without downtime. But if there is no bedtime and there is no cot, they will fall asleep exhausted, and sleeping exhausted replenishes stamina extremely slow. They won't be exhausted with either bedtime or cot available. Sleeping on cot does replenish stamina a bit faster, but not that much difference. So I save the time for building cots and give the bedtime schedule for the dupes. I am placing multiple small batteries because, well, I haven't even researched jumbo batteries. I am skipping the entire power research this run. No coal generators, no dischargers, no nothing. With the supercomputer setup ready, I was planning to research gas pump first and then proceed into carbon dioxide engine research. But I realize, since the first tech does not require advanced research, my frozen dupe will be idle this way. Supercomputer cannot be used to do basic research. So I swapped to the rocket platform research, which immediately requires the supercomputer. And adding in a basic research station to use later, since my bionics is idle anyway. Another critical factor is the material to build the rocket platform because it requires 800 kilograms of refined metals. Making them from rock crusher or refinery would be way too slow, so I need to aim for free refined metals offered from world generation. There are quite a few nominees of possible free metals, including iron from the barren biome or crashed satellite, lead from oil biome, or even deconstructing gravitas or story trait buildings. For this run, I have another idea. I'm gonna use mercury. Mercury is generally the worst metal in game due to extremely low melting point and heat capacity. Trying to bring them into the base would just melt and flood everywhere 90% of the time. But the good news is, rocket-related things are completely immune to damage, overheating, or melting because they don't exchange temperature at all. So, I could just collect the mercury on the surface and use it for the rocket platform directly without ever bringing it into my base. Right now, the research is pending on the supercomputer, and my home researcher has nothing to do, but this is a good time to dig to the mercury and set up wires and pipes anyway. Rocket platform research is done. All that is left is the three technologies unlocking gas pump and carbon dioxide engine. It takes a minimum of 6 researches to launch a carbon dioxide engine, and I am only exactly researching these 6, not bothering with even one more. By the way, this planet is the Desoland start. It is the easiest planet to make progress, like getting steel, plastic, oil, or rockets. I really recommend you to give it a try if you haven't. Mercury normally doesn't exist in Desolands. It's here because I have scrambled Frosty Planet Pack DLC in. If you would like to know the exact seed for this run, it can be found in the comments. Now that the buildings are all set in the teleporter, there's nothing left for my digger to do. Time for it to return to home and assist with setting up the rocket. Digging jobs are still the most efficient when done with a digger after all. It is near the end of cycle 2, and this means I have just one cycle left to launch the rocket. The dupes were allowed to sleep, but sorry, not at the final cycle. Red alert can prevent the dupes from sleeping, and they can indeed work infinitely even when stamina is 0. There are a lot of drawbacks apparently, but enabling for less than a cycle would still be under my control. There's now a lot of construction to do, but I want to set up the gas pump and the pipes first. I can start pumping the carbon dioxide to the rocket construction site to save a few seconds. As you can see, the first 2 cycles are mostly about researching and using teleporters. But magically, once everything is prepared, we can build and launch a rocket from scratch in less than 1 cycle. It is now the turn for Red Alert in Home Planet 2. I have almost cleared out the spot for fitting the rocket platform. There still seem to be some tiles blocking the top of the platform, but we don't need the entire width of the platform when launching a rocket. Only the actual width of the rocket matters. Carbon dioxide engine is a really small rocket, only 3 tiles wide, so that's all what we need. I have already cleared 1 row of tile too many. There's less than half a cycle left, and I have better hurry, but I just realized the gas pump wires isn't connected yet. Time to fix it and start the pump. The gas won't flow when the target isn't built yet, but we can use a gas bridge to lure the gas all the way to the bridge so it gets much closer to the rocket. I realize it's the wrong dupe building the rocket platform. Since most jobs are done, there are dupes being idle and start stealing jobs. But the final research is not done yet, so maybe it doesn't matter for now. The carbon dioxide engine isn't available yet, but we can build the nose cone first. We don't have to build the rocket modules in order. Launching a rocket requires a dupe with piloting skills. I don't have it now, but I have it planned. The first printing pot offer unlocks at about halfway through cycle 3. A new printed dupe will have one free skill point. It is too late to use it for anything except being a pilot because that's literally the last mission. The research is ready, now I just have to build the engine, connect the pipes, wait for the gas to flow in, and launch the rocket. By the way, the rocket is completely insensitive to wrong gas types. Oxygen flowing in would be simply discarded without any consequences, so there's no need to filter it out. Oh, don't worry about the dupes. Once the red alert is over, they can return to normal life. 3 cycles of side projects can't really hurt a colony, right? The rocket launching into orbit can immediately land again without travel time, so the pilot would be safe too. It took me a lot of practice, and I am so happy to successfully complete a Cycle 3 rocket launch. I'm a dedicated Oxygen Not Included creator. If you are interested in other speedruns or hard challenges, you might want to have a look at these. See you next video!